Get going. I just want to thank y'all for being here again. I know this process has been a little bit longer than intended, so I really appreciate y'all's patience and understanding. Just kind of to reiterate a few different things. Our committee's been working on this very hard. I know that we've been working with y'all very hard as well, and we will be going, after this, we'll be passing all the legislation like we just did for the fall budgets through the Senate floor in the next couple of weeks. So that's just kind of to get things started. Just a rule of order. Following rules of order shall be adhered to at all times. So just standards. I know I went over this last time, but when recognized to speak, the person with the floor should stand if able, say their name, speak, and sit or indicate when finished. Discussion on any given line items shall be limited to 10 minutes, at which time the chair shall table discussion on the current line item and proceed with the hearing. If needed, the chair has authority to remove any participants or members of the audience from the hearing room. So now I'm going to call this spring and summer 2026 budget final budget hearings to order. The first order of business is to go over the amount that was requested, or that is going to be allocated, which is going to be $2,100,118. The total amount requested was $2,349,301.99 for the full year. This means we're short $242,183.99. During the fall final budget hearings, we also set aside $50,000 to $60,000 to be allocated to be put back in the reserve fund, and which brought us up to a total of $300,000 that we would need to cut during this full year. So the first, in our final budget hearings, our first round for the fall, we cut $213,347, and we still need to get to about $300,000. So if you kind of do the math there, that leaves us at about $84,000 roughly that we still need to get down to today. And the amount that's being requested for the spring and summer is going to be $568,250. So first we'll start off with offered cuts. Y'all know the deal, just go around. If you have any offers and make them, you can do more than one at a time. And we will go until no one else has any offers, and then we will move to proposed cuts. So with that being said, would anyone like to start with offered cuts?
I'm the first. All right, Troutman, UPC. All right, line item, interactive events. Subline item, Go Yoga. Current amount is $5,000. Cut entirety. Motion to pass.
Second. Is there any debate on this offered cut? Seeing none, we'll move into a vote. Say aye and raise your hand for yes.
Aye.
Say no and raise your hand for no. This offered cut has been passed. Anyone else? Next.
Just go in a circle.
Yeah, just go and I guess just kind of go like this. Hayden.
Wolf Media, pass.
Senator Bolton, lead pass. Stanley, SGA, pass.
Pretty soon arts, we don't have a budget for the spring, it was allocated in the fall, so pass. Code, ISO, pass, Blinko, PSU, pass. Robertson Service, pass.
All right, Troutman, UPC. Line item, live entertainment. Subline item, dancing with the Auburn Stars. Current amount is $4,000. Cut the entirety. Motion to pass.
Second. Is there any debate? All those in favor, raise your hand and say aye.
Aye.
All those not in favor, raise your hand and say nay. This cut has been passed.
Wolf Media, pass.
Bolton lead pass. Stanley SGA pass.
Purdue Student Orgs, pass. Blanco BSU, pass. ISO, pass. Robertson Service, pass.
Troutman UPC. Line item holidays and traditions. Subline item luau. The current amount is $8,000. Cut the entirety. Motion to pass.
Second. Is there any debate? All those in favor, raise your hand and say aye.
Aye.
All those not in favor, raise your hand and say nay. This cut has been passed.
Wolf Media, pass.
Bolton lead pass. Stanley SGA pass.
Purdue Student Orgs, pass. Blanco ISO, pass. BSU, pass. Robertson Service, pass.
All right, so from here, we'll just move to proposed cuts. Oh, sorry, just to offered cuts, but if y'all have more than one, you can go ahead and just go with that, or and then we'll move from there. So you can do as many as you want at one. So
Alright, so Troutman UPC. Line item live entertainment. Subline item disco night. Current amount is $8,000. Cut $4,000. Motion to pass.
second. Is there any debate? Oh, sorry. Wait, yeah, we have to do that. All those in favor, raise your hand and say aye.
Aye.
All those not in favor, raise your hand and say nay. This cut has been passed.
Alright, Troutman UPC, line item interactive events. Subline item pasta making class. The current amount is $8,000. Cut $2,000. Motion to pass.
Second. Is there any debate? All those in favor, raise your hand and say aye.
Aye.
All those not in favor, raise your hand and say nay. This cut has been passed. Luke, real good. Do we have any other offered cuts at this moment? All right. Now at this time, we will move into proposed cuts. Just to reiterate, anyone can go to any organization. You don't have to be the exact representative. So from here, we will move into proposed cuts now. I'll kind of start off. I know we've been on UPC for a while, but Carter, do y'all have any numbers just kind of off the top of your head on the, I don't know if y'all have this or not, but the like cost per head for the spring concert? Do you?
Yeah, so I know last year I think we spent around, I want to say 20 or 25,000, and it was got around I think 300 people. So yeah, I would say I think it's a similar cost per head to some of our bigger events, but yeah.
Got it. Would y'all like to move to a recess real quick for about 2 minutes? All those in favor, raise your hand and say aye. All of those not in favor, raise your hand and say nay. All right, recess is started. order. So if y'all get back in your seats. We will start back with proposed cuts and any questions that anyone has. So the floor is open.
Robertson's service, I suppose we cut from service, line item, payment of your banquet, or off of avian operational costs, so line item of your banquet. It's at 3,000 right now, I suppose we cut 500. I'm going to pass it.
Second, is there any debate? Feel free to debate as well. All those in favor, raise your hand and say aye.
Aye.
All those not in favor, raise your hand and say nay. This cut has been passed.
Hey, Brad. Hey, do we have a breakdown of all the organizations like we did in the fall here?
What do you mean?
The next is like we just want to see what
Stanley, SGA. I would like to just ask UPC where you're at in your progress with planning the spring concert.
Yes, I yield my time to Cody.
Yeah, so my computer just is restarting randomly. So if you'll just give me like 1 second.
Yeah, no problem.
You are welcome to move on to other cuts as well in the meantime.
Actually, have you now.
Okay.
So our team over at Live Entertainment has already reached out to, I believe, 5 separate artists, and we've gotten quotes from all of them, ranging from anywhere. The cheapest was 2,000 to 2,500, and the highest was 30. But most of them are in the range of anywhere from 15 to 20. And they've all given us a range, so we're not exactly sure which exact price it would be, but most of them are somewhere between the $50,000 to $20,000 range, which would be within our budget that we have set aside for that currently.
And then if you were to spend 15 or 20, how would you then utilize the other 5,000?
So that would be utilized on mainly stage and food for the event. So usually we have a stage from Auburn Productions, which is somewhere around 4,000 to 5,000 for like one of the cheaper options, and then just some food for food trucks, for students' food trucks.
arts and pharmacy, I propose to cut from B. Line item outreach, subline item end of year ceremony. It's currently at 3,500. I propose to cut 1,000. I move next cut.
Second. Is there any debate?
Our end of the year ceremony is usually our largest event, and we are planning on, based off of how our numbers have been going so far for our certified student leadership program, we're expecting to recognize potentially 300 plus students. And since dinner is to be provided for that event, that takes up like majority of the cost that we're asking for. And our end of year ceremony has always costed more than $2,500.
Do you know how many attendees y'all had last year?
Last year, I believe it was around 250, including all of our leadership team and our recognized participants.
And you said that y'all are basing the numbers off this year, what y'all have had so far? Or what was that? Sorry.
Yeah, so this semester we're basing it off of how many people have completed attended their required meetings, like the minimum number of meetings, and so far we are expecting about 300, and that doesn't include our leadership team as of now.
Got it.
And our leadership team before was about maybe 20 to 30, but this year it's 70 people.
Okay. I'm looking at last year's real quick. So it says that end of year y'all were given 4,000. So you said there was a second. Am I allowed to vote on it?
Open debate.
So open to any other further debate. All those in favor, raise your hand and say aye. Do that again. Okay. You all can put your hands down. All those in favor, raise your hand and say nay.
I was not in favor.
Not in favor, sorry. Raise your hand and say nay. Can I raise my hand? Charlotte. Okay. Did you raise your hand originally?
I think I forgot who actually was
So-
but I was yay.
Okay. This does pass.
I've got a quick question for ISO. Is this 29,000 for social hours? Is this just for the spring semester?
Yeah, this is for spring semester. About 9 social hours and 3 general.
Okay.
Wolf Media. I got a quick question for UPC. So I'm seeing where the garden party went up $2,000 from last year. What is that? What's the increase there essentially?
I think that the main increase for that is that in the past we've run out of things for that event specifically. It's one of the like afternoon daytime events, so we usually get more people at those, and it's one of those things where I think we ran out last year, so we were looking to push more money towards that.
Okay. What is that? What is the garden party?
Oh yeah, so it's basically just I guess spring type of event, celebrating kind of the start of spring, and people can come and get like a flower bouquet and then do some like garden party, I guess, themed crafts and stuff like that. So it's just like a smaller pop-up. I think the main cost is associated with flower truck, food, and then those craft items.
Okay.
Purdue Houston or UPC. I just had a question about Art Mart. Do y'all have like a cost per head or attendance on that? Is this something you've done in the past? Do you have any numbers on that?
No, it's a new event, but it's kind of similar to some of the other events we've had in the past. The team kind of wanted to make an event similar to Block Party, which I believe got 1,300 this past year. So they weren't sure if they were going to make it a nighttime or a daytime event, but similar events that we have in like the April to March that are in the daytime. I mean, Earth Day Extravaganza got 1,700 people last year, and we've gotten 1,100 at Fall Festival. So most of those get like over 1,000 people. So I'd say it will probably be somewhere in that range, but unsure because it's a new event.
Right. And then what all does it like entail? What are the costs going towards?
Yeah, so the team wanted to kind of make it similar to that block party that I was talking about, but also incorporate some other things. So they wanted to have a giant metal slide that people can ride down, hamster ball racing, a mobile splatter paint room, an inflatable obstacle course, and then some crafting type of things. So having tote bag decorating, balloon animals that people can go up and get, possibly some candle stuff, and then some other crafting things like a tea bag making and a tea bar, and then like incorporating Auburn honey into that as well, and then some pastries for food.
Awesome. Thank you.
Yeah.
Do we have any already things that are planning? Do you know when that's going to be, and kind of planning on that?
Yeah, so we're actually working on the reservations right now. We haven't figured out exactly what we have because last year, actually around the time of reservations, we did not, our advisor was being taken out. So we didn't get all of the reservations that we necessarily needed for the spring. So we've been working on trying to find reservations for actually all of our events that haven't happened before, but it's probably going to happen somewhere in April or March.
And is this in place for the first 56? Is that what you're talking about, the first 56 block party, or is this just?
Yes, similar to the first 56 block party.
Okay, and I saw that's in y'all's budget from last year. Did y'all do away with that, or was that already happened?
It's
right?
in the fall operational.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Traveling UPC, I would like to propose a cut to ISO line item social hour, sub line item food and beverage. The current amount is $29,000. Propose to cut $5,000. That shouldn't pass.
Second. Is there any debate?
Okay, so right now we invite our other international student groups to come to this event and organize their social hours. So right now we invite to 9 student organizations. So mainly these food budget going to buy foods. We make foods from different countries. So if we got $5,000, I think we can't. I think we need to produce a couple of social hours. But unfortunately, right now we schedule those things.
So I wanna add on that. Like food budget is fixed. We already invited all of the student organization. They're gonna come. There is like fixed amount of people. So we already have all of the food. So it can't be cut. And we can that's how we do our food budget, because we look at our past data and then we already propose, we already made cuts on our food, making food cheaper, and we can't go more than that. And it's already fixed, so we can't cut that at all.
Okay. Well, At $29,000 across 9 different events, and if 100 people came, that's almost $32 per head.
Actually, sometimes it's more than 100 students. So next spring semester we have Indian student and Bangladeshi student. Social hours, generally for those social hours, attendees are more than 150. So for one head we need to pay 21.
And then we always fix at around 125 for each event, and like those events was 150, we order from 150. So we calculated that and put that in our food budget, so it can't go down more than that.
Because last year we had some problems. So social hours like Indian and Bangladesh, we run out of food.
So
All those in, any further debate?
Yeah. I just wanted to know about like how much of this food was being eaten this time, like each social hour, and then if you have leftovers, what do you do with them?
So if we have leftovers, we generally contact campus kitchen. So because campus kitchen is very popular among international students, it's also going to international student community and also for local students. So every time after the social hours, I contact president of the campus kitchen, and if we have any leftover, we will give that to campus kitchen.
So typically, how many leftovers would you say you have?
So generally, in this semester, that only happened in two social hours because Chinese student social hour, we don't have a proper Chinese student association here. We organize that with College of Liberal Arts. I think that's the only time we call to campus kitchen, and for the other times, we didn't have any leftovers. But next semester, we have very big social hours, Indian, Bangladesh, Pakistan. So those are going to be the very big social hours because they have very big communities, Indian and Bangladeshi. So because of that, in spring semester, I think we can cut more money from our social hour budget.
So when you say communities, is that like students here at Auburn?
So generally, I think 95% of them are students, Auburn students, but sometimes we are seeing, because international student community that include a lot of grad students, sometimes they bring their spouse or their children. It's very big, yeah.
Okay. Because we just to reiterate, we want these funds to go towards all students at Auburn are paying for them, and so we want it to be going to the students here, and so that's just something to add on to. But does anyone have any other further debate? All right, all those in favor, raise your hand, say aye. All those not in favor, raise your hand, say nay. This bill has been passed, or this cut has been passed.
Robertson service. I had a question for SGA about the external affairs travel budget, but that's something.
Yes, so every summer the lottery team has to travel to Florida, and they go with people from the governmental affairs office and the president's office, and they go to a higher ed conference in Florida. So that's what that goes to.
How many people was that? And that didn't happen last year.
It did.
Oh, it did happen.
Yes. It's yeah. Learn to lobby day didn't happen because of the student, but they did go to Florida this past summer.
And how many?
Yes. It was 3 that went this summer, right, Jamie? And but the exact person's invited as well, so it could be 4. And then Jamie sometimes goes.
I haven't gotten to go. This is
Okay, just
sophomore
kidding.
episode
I lied.
I didn't, but it's anywhere between 3 and between 2 and 4. No more than 5.
I just kind of wanted to reiterate something with UPC. So for that fall concert, or the spring concert, sorry, you kind of mentioned $20,000, roughly 300 students. That's roughly $66 per person. Just kind of, I don't know, is that, you kind of mentioned that kind of being normal?
I would say, at least for some of our bigger events, that is kind of normal. I mean, for fall festival, $45,000, and 1,100 people. That's kind of on the higher end, like $40 a person, something like that. So I would say some of our bigger events do get that. I wouldn't say it's necessarily like normal for all of our events. I mean, our pop-up events probably are $6 a person, if even that. Sometimes like $10 max. But yeah, just for some of those bigger events, we do get, or like when we're bringing in a bigger name artist, we do get a little bit higher cost per head because it's one of those things where artists cost a lot of money. So.
And with that, are you? You can say no, but are y'all allowed to say like who y'all are thinking about having, like the 5 people y'all contacted?
So there was 5 different artists that they reached out to. One of them is called Sunroom. They have about 419 monthly listeners on Spotify. Dog Park was another one that has about 506,000 on Spotify. Penelope Road, which has 241,000, and then West 22nd, which has 527,000 on Spotify.
Got it.
And something we've also considered is reaching out to the Auburn student body and kind of asking them which of those artists that they want to see, because we know that it's something where we don't want to bring someone that none of the students want to see. But one of the, I would say out of the reviews that I've seen after exporting event reviews that we get in from student body, the concerts have been one of the things that have gotten consistently the most positive reviews. Both the past 2 spring concerts have gotten 4.7 and 4.9 star ratings on their own, and students really seem to enjoy them. And they've said that, I have testimonials written up from students, and I don't want to go through all of them, but it's one of those things that I think that students really do appreciate having, and they appreciate UPC bringing an artist to campus, whether they know them or not, just to have that concert, and it be something that they can go to for free.
Awesome.
Do we need to recess to be able to have some cuts to cut those?
Yeah.
Media, I'd like to propose a cut, $1,500, UPC, under line item garden party.
What's it currently at?
It's currently at 7,000.
Cutting 15?
Yes, sir.
Second. Is there any debate?
I will say kind of my thinking behind this is because there are a couple different events that aren't UPC that happen in spring. Like I know there's like Beyond the Farm that the College Bag hosts, and it's very similar towards like flowers and like that kind of stuff. But because it's also spring, there are a lot of opportunities I feel like across campus that's similar. So if you can't get flowers, say like I know you said that was one of the big costs. If you can't get it at that event, there's a couple of different other times you can. So that's just my thinking behind that, and I didn't want to cut the whole thing because students do go. So.
Any further debate? All those in favor, raise your hand, say aye.
Aye.
All those not in favor, raise your hand, say nay. All right, so from here we'll move to a quick recess. I know that kind of went a little bit longer, but we will move to hopefully quick recess. All in favor, raise your hand, say aye. All those not in favor, raise your hand, say nay. All right, quick recess. All right, we'll start back with proposed cuts.
Stanley, SGA. I'd like to propose a cut for UPC. Line item, special events. Sub-line item, line item, live entertainment. Sub-line item, concert on theater. It's currently $25,000. I'd like to cut it entirely. I move to make this motion, or motion makes that.
Second. Is there any further debate?
Yeah, I yield my time.
So part of, I guess, what we were kind of talking about with this is that we have like a lot of quotes and a lot of historical, I guess, data on this event, and it's one of the things that I think students really look forward to. And I mean, even in these testimonials, I don't want to read the full thing, but someone said, and I quote, like, they said something to the effect of basically, UPC has hosted yet again like another amazing concert. So it's something that I think that the student body really does like having, and I think part of the not, I guess, great attendance last year was part of not having great advertising for the event. It's had a lot better attendance in previous years before last year that it happened. That like, I think we would much rather have this event than I think we were talking about than Art Mart. So if it's possible to propose a partial cut or full cut to Art Mart, I think the executive team would prefer that to allow this event to still happen and to have that concert that people look forward to, as opposed to an event that we don't necessarily have historical data on. We've considered allowing the team to basically maybe push some money towards that event, like having Inflatable Night a little bit bigger and turn it into more of an Art Mart vibe, but that's just the executive team's opinion, and I would appreciate if maybe it could be, if we could, I guess, rework that into maybe cutting from another event.
Just
Art Mart specifically.
right off the bat for me, I know that UPC does a lot more events in the spring. So that's kind of one thing to consider, and we don't want to continue just to like cut out just feet from like so slashing half this, slashing half that. But yes, you have my time, or you're welcome to speak. Sorry.
Sorry if I'm not allowed to speak. We're from UPC. We actually have more events in the fall than the spring. So one of our concerns with cutting stuff in the spring is that with like First 56 is such a concentration of events, we actually have less. And so as we cut, especially live entertainment, Strong Cater, that would be like their only big event for the entire semester that they're having. Like they have like $1,000 events like like open mic nights, but they don't have any other big events at all in the spring. And a lot of our committees are have smaller numbers in the spring. So I don't know if that's going into your decision that fits that. And then also, I know Carter kind of said it for a minute there that last year live kind of dropped the ball. I was on the live team last year, and I can attest that leading up to the event, there were some personal things that came up, especially with our director, and it did not get the advertising that it wanted, that we had hoped to. But it did, all the people that were there ended up having a great time, but I would definitely take some of the blame on getting the word out there last year, being part of why I hired him.
And again, I think if it's one of those things where we're able to ask the student body who they want to see out of those options that we found that are in budget, that would definitely be something that I think would help attendance and would help push people towards that event. And it's one of the events that we've gotten a lot more work done on, especially than like Art Mart. So I think between the two, the executive team would prefer to.
Do y'all also have a spring? Y'all also have a spring fair as well. So is that not considered one of y'all's big events either? Or?
So that's from a different committee. So live entertainment only plans basically live entertainment events. So they plan like concerts and open mic nights that we host with the circle and stuff like that. So they only have, after the cuts that we've already made, I think they have 4 events right now. And so we would like to be able to keep this for them because their other events right now are pretty small in nature.
Is there any further debate?
I just have one more thing to ask. I know you said last year the attendance was lower. Last year there also wasn't the 5 athletic concerts that we're having this year. How also do you plan to keep the attendance high, even though it was still, again, lower last year? Like, how do you plan to, I guess, not compete with the athletic concerts, but keep the attendance up with those being here this year?
Yeah, so I think part of the thing that we talked about and the value of this event is that it is free for students as opposed to the concerts that, at least the ones that we've seen and the ones that are being planned, the Riley Green concert, I know we all probably just got the email about. All that it is offering pre-sale to students. It's not giving any priority towards, I guess, making it free for students or making it cheaper for students. So I think that that's the primary difference between the athletics events and ours, is that ours are geared towards students as opposed to athletics events being geared towards the general public. Anyone who wants to come is able to come to those, and it's become a thing now where actually we've looked into it, and tickets are being resold on Ticketmaster for like 4 times what they were bought for, and it's just becoming one of those things where it's not really geared towards students. And I think comparing it in that way is the same as comparing it to any other concert that you could go to in Birmingham, Atlanta, anywhere else that's a bigger venue. Truly, Auburn is just being used as a venue for those concerts. So I think there's value in still having them. And once again, I mean, we still have Fall Concert and War Dam Coffee Jam coming up. So having those events, I think we still have events for students that are like that. And I think that there is value in that.
I think to add, just to kind of advocate for BSU, I mean, we had this process 2 weeks ago, and that was kind of our same thing with them. I mean, although planning was somewhat in the same realm as well, we kind of encouraged them to, start looking, partnering with other groups, like for the example, the athletic concerts and different things like that. And so we kind of all felt like this is kind of in the same boat. We want to be consistent throughout our whole process. So is there any further debate? All those in favor, raise your hand and say aye. All those not in favor, raise your hand and say nay. This bill's been passed.
Bolton lead. I'd like to propose a cut to UPC under line item special events, subline item Art Mart. There's $35,000 requested, and I propose to cut the entirety.
Second.
Second. Is there a second?
Second.
Any further debate?
Is there a possibility to take a recess?
Yes. All those in favor for a recess, raise your hand and say aye. All those not in favor, raise your hand and say nay. All right, we'll go to recess. We'll continue where we're at. Is there any further debate on this proposed cut? Okay. All those in wait.
Can I say one thing?
Has to be yielded.
Has to be yielded.
Who's yielding?
Yes.
Regarding Art Mart, I know that we kind of mentioned that it's a newer event. I would just like to say that we are robbing 1,000 students of going to an event during the day and letting SGA have a 3-person conference going to Florida. We're robbing people of this opportunity. I'm just saying,
It's because Sanford makes them go. They have to. They don't have a choice. They've tried getting out of it. So. Any further debate?
Yes.
Is there any possibility to only cut the 28,000 and still leave just the remaining so that we can push it to other events?
The thing is,
we've considered we can combine it with Inflatable Night, but I think that I feel a little bit of a disservice that UPC is having to cut 95% of what's totally being cut. And I understand that it's because other organizations have less dedicated to spring. But once again, like Rachel was saying, this is an event that could get, 1,100, 1,500 people. And I think that at least allowing it to be combined with another event, or maybe having 2 separate events, something like that, where we still have that, a little bit extra money would be appreciated. So if there's a possibility for a revision to only cut down to what's necessary to the 28,000, but.
Is there any further debate? All those in favor, raise your hand, say aye.
Aye.
All those not in favor, raise your hand, say nay. This bill's been passed. So we'll move into final and closing expectations. We have budgeted for the 2025-2026 fiscal the whole year. With that being said, we kind of did go over on both the fall and the spring. And so with that being said, just keep that in mind as well. Just 5 things, or just kind of wrap things up. Budget and Finance Committee will now be writing legislation and passing it through SGA Senate floor to confirm approval of your spring and summer 2026 budget request. SAO representatives, you will not be required to attend the upcoming Senate meetings where the legislation will be considered. We will reach out to you if it is determined that any adjustments are needed. Now, let me remind you of the 5 important expectations of you for the weeks and months ahead as we enter the new year. Activity events SAOs provided must be open to all Auburn students. Your money is being allocated to specific line items, and it is expected that the funds allocated are used only for the specific approved line items. If you need to reallocate, you can reach back out to us. We have to approve those reallocations. And if there's a need for any RFRs or PDFs, those will also be submitted to us through AU Involve. The B&F committee will also review any carryover requests well, now this has changed, not in late October. But any money from the previous fiscal year to the new fiscal year, if needed, students representatives, please work closely with your advisors and admins to determine if you have any line items that you need to carry over money to cover recent expenses that you didn't get fully processed on September's budget. Lastly, make sure that all budget trackers that we provided to y'all should all have those now, that you continue to update those on a weekly basis. We'll stay in contact with y'all as we go through the process in these next few months as well, throughout the spring and summer. And to close, like I mentioned, we have balanced the budget for the 2025-2026 Budget and Finance Committee, and we'll spend the next 2 weeks on going through the process of having Student Senate confirm the budgets. In just a couple months, we or our successors will reconvene to do the exact same process we did tonight, but for the fall 2026 budget, we will send more details and instructions for that at the beginning of January. Does anyone have any questions? All right. Well, if that's all we have, thank you all in advance. Yes, this meeting has been adjourned.